Welcome back, all our 40k fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we are here to give you another Warhammer 40k battle report. It is tournament time. Time to get lists prepped and ready to go. Lane and I are going to be traveling out to North Coast Games to play in their invitational GT. Gotta say, it's like the pinky out when you say it. I think
right.
Invitational GT.
Also, I like how you say travel. It's 25 minutes from my house. It's not that much travel.
Okay, 25 minutes for you. I still got 45 for it.
Oh my gosh, so much travel.
I know. Whew. It's tough in the winter, though, because you never know what's going to happen. We're in Ohio, and 1 minute sunshine, heat, and green grass, and the next man, boom, blizzard. Just last week, we seen it was like this blackout. I looked down, I looked back up, it was a blackout outside because like a winter swell came through. So, but yeah, I mean, we got the weather hitting. So first things first, I want to make sure to say thanks to Lane for making it out tonight.
A pun.
Yes, a pun, because today Lane is going to be bringing the Imperial Guard. And in previous iterations, you've run very, very tank heavy, and today you've expanded out your army quite a bit.
Yeah, I really like the Grizzled Company. I think it's pretty common knowledge the Grizzled Company is probably the most competitive detachment, and it works well with a variety of units, not just tanks. So I've been expanding the Imperial Guard collection I've got here. Got some more models on the table. Got to proxy a few things still, but we've got some Castrican, we've got some Rough Riders, we've got some Ogryn, kind of filling out not just tanks.
Now for me, Lane is not planning. First of all, Lane is not planning on taking Guard to the GT. But one of the things that Lane and I particularly like to do, especially when we get up towards GT time, when we're both going to be traveling to an event together, is we try to not play our GT lists against each other, just in case we run into each other at the event. First and second round, usually you can talk to a TO and say, hey, I play against this person all the time. I traveled with them, and they can switch stuff up. When you get to rounds 3, 4, 5, you're kind of stuck with it. It is what it is. That's how the dice roll. That's how the dice land. So this way, at least if we do have to play against each other, it's not something we've done already on the channel. So we try to keep at least a little bit fresh.
You got to save it for the big show.
For me, though, I am strongly considering taking my World Eaters because, number one, I don't like taking the same army twice in a row. In last tournament I went to, which was many moons ago, I took Necrons, my all-character build. So I've been working hard on the World Eaters, getting a lot of stuff painted, getting a lot of stuff ready. I kind of want to show them off, take them there. And after our last game that we played with World Eaters, the all big demon detachment that I ran of the Demonkin looked like it had some play to it. Mm-hmm. You know, looked like I was cooking up something good, cooking with corn. So I want to give it another try into a couple of armies. Now kind of look at it from a different perspective of not just, ooh, cool, look at all these models I painted, but go, hey, does this actually have legs, or in this case, wings?
Yeah, I mean, they've all got wings, but not everybody can use them.
Correct. Scarbrands are kind of beat up really bad. So, yeah, let's go take a look at these armies that we're going to be playing today.
If you want to know more about the detachments, the data sheets, the enhancements, the stratagems, and how we plan to use everything, please check out our separate army list videos where we go into great detail. But for now, here is a quick rundown. I have exactly 2,000 points of Astra Militarum in the Grizzled Company detachment. We have, for characters, 1 Cadian Castellan with the Aquilin Eye. We have the Cadian Command Squad. We have a Commissar with the Adhuman Detail. We've got Gaunt's Ghosts and 1 Rogel Dorn Tank Commander. We have a Cadian Shock Troop Squad. This is going to be played by old metal Catechin guys. I don't have actual Cadians, so we're using the old metal Catechins for these. We have a Chimera. We got 2 squads of Rough Riders. Sorry, 2 5-man squads of Rough Riders. 2 10-mans of Castrican. 1 is an actual Castrican squad. The second Castrican squad is being played by some old Armageddon Steel Legion metal models that we've got here. We've got 2 Lehman Russ Demolishers. We have a Rogel Dorn battle tank. We have a Scout Sentinel. And then I am doing 2 squads of Ogryn, not Bulgrin. So I'm using my Bulgrin models to proxy as Ogryn. So this is 2 6-mans of Ogryn. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, for the World Eaters, we're going to start off with 2 Forge Fiends. We have 2 5-mans of the Khorne Fleshhounds, 2 10-mans of the Bloodletters. We have 3 2-mans of the, what are they called? Spawn, Chaos Spawn, 10 Jackals, and then our big boy demons. We have Scarbrand, sporting our title belt, the Bloodthirster, and last, as you can see on the table, Angry Ron. So that's it. Very simple list. Very simple. One of the things that I kind of look at with the, I guess, ideology of the list, the theory behind it is when you look at units that are big damage dealers, that are the ones that are you're trying to that aren't necessarily doing objectives and just trying to score, just remove other units. They're around 300 points. So are these demons. Difference is you hit them, you're not reducing their damage output. In fact, Scarbrand gets angrier when you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where my theory with a lot of the lists. We still have access to some amazing stratagems. And then if these guys can get out there and do their job and generate blood tithe, suddenly late in the game, my bloodletters and my flesh hounds are crazy value because of all the different blood tithe buffs, whether it's lance, 4-up invulnerable saves, or blessings of corn if we can get up that far.
Yeah, I've experienced those. It's kind of brutal once we get near the end of the game and they're all buffed up.
Exactly. We need to make a little room for that dice. I didn't think about that. Unless you want me to smack your
No.
tank with a big foam dice.
No.
Yeah, I'm less likely to do that, especially with wings. Wings. I think your tank holds up better to foam dice than Angron and big wings.
For sure.
But yeah, you have a little bit of a theory that you want to try out today, too, with this kind of build.
Yeah, so we know Gristle Company is really good, bringing lots of the good units, but I'm also trying a little experiment here. Bulgren, we know, are really good in Grizzle Company because the Abhuman detail enhancement means the Commissar can lead them and give them the fixed bayonets order. And while they're under orders, they also reroll ones to hit and ones to wound if the target's on an objective. So we know the Bulgren are really good, but they're 200 points, and I decided to take 2 6-mans of Ogren, because the Ogren 6-man is only 130 points. And even though the Bulgren do hit harder, the Ogren still kind of punch all right. They've got 4 attacks, strength 6, AP 1, 1 damage. So the fixed bayonets is not going to be lost on them. It's still going to let them reroll their ones to hit when they're shooting and their ones to hit when they're fighting in combat. So we'll see if it's worth it. Obviously, the Bulgren are much more durable because they have damage reduction, better armor, and invuln saves. But the Ogren are just actually pretty cheap, and we'll see if we can get some efficiency out of both the shooting phase and the fight phase.
All right, let's get to it. Odd or even, Lane?
Even.
And it is odd. So I have no infiltrators. I do have scouts. Don't matter as much in the initial deployment, so I guess I can let you deploy first.
All right.
All right, and we'll be back after deployment. Let's go. We are deployed. Lane, tell everybody what we are doing here today.
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is Dawn of War. This is the deployment I used back in the 90s. Our mission is Scorched Earth. So you get 5 points for objective you control, up to 10. However, you can get extra points by burning objectives in no man's land for 5 points, or your opponent's deployment zone for 10 points.
Alrighty, so first off, the World Eaters. The Bloodthirster and my 2 10-mans of Bloodletters will be in Deep Strike. Otherwise, we're everything else on the table. So Lane and I chose opposite sides of the map, as you can tell. I got Angron and Scarbrand hanging out over here in the corner, and they got a Forge Fred to back them up. Then we just got some Flesh Hounds. They can jump off the table and do Flesh Houndy things. Some Spawn hanging out up here. Spawn have an 8-inch scout move, so I don't necessarily need to leave them there if I don't go first. Then another Forge Fiend here taking up the middle. Jackals are out, barely touching the objective. It's a very precarious position because there's a lot of lanes that could open up to shoot at them, and, well, they got T-shirts for armor. And then you have some more Spawn over here to be able to jump out on those objectives and just be annoying early on. Again, we'd have that 1 command point strat that allows us to bring a Bloodletters unit in when a unit's destroyed. On top of the fact, I want to keep Lane back because these guys have an 8-inch scout move, a 10-inch move, plus advance in charge. So the Spawn can go screaming across the table, all squibbly-like, and they definitely have a very, very good profile for chewing on guardsmen. So, and then our last squad of Flesh Hounds back here. All right, Lane, over to you.
So in reserve, I just have 1 squad of Casterkin. I didn't have enough points for another Chimera. We've got 1 squad in a Chimera and 1 in reserve. So all the way over here, we've got the Rogaldorn regular guy. We've got our Rogaldorn tank commander. We've got our Ogren with the Commissar attached. We have more Ogren inside the building here. And we've got 2 5-mans of the horses ready to go out. I kept them back here so they didn't get wrecked by Spawn right away. We've got our 2 Lehman Russ Demolishers within 12 inches of our Lehman Russ tank, or our Royal Wildorian tank commander, so they can receive orders and go do some shooting. Got our little Scout Sentinel. Maybe we'll go first and scout onto the objective and sticky it. Who knows? Gaunt's Ghosts here. They do have Infiltrate, but I don't want to infiltrate them anywhere. They get killed right away. And then we have the Acadian Command Squad and the Acadian Shock Troopers on our deployment zone objective, so they can sticky that first turn. And then finally over here, we do have a Chimera with Caster Cannon.
All right. So, yeah, we kind of both picked opposite corners with it. I think that's kind of how things went. It's like we start putting stuff down, and I ended up with big boys over here. You got big boys over there. So we'll see how that works out for us. You want to go first or second, Mr. Lane?
Sure. I'll go first.
Hey, looks like you will get that luxury. So you will get to go first. We do have a couple of scout moves to knock out real quick. I got scout move my spawn, which pretty much I'm just going to get them into hiding so they don't get shot on the first turn, since some of them are kind of in a little rough position. And for you mentioned already that Scout Sentinel is probably going to run up there and tag on that objective.
Zip.
Yep, that's where he's going to go. All right, well, let me get my scout moves done, and then it is time to play the game.
For turn 1, I got Assassination and Secure No Man's Land. So we did, in fact, scout our Scout Sentinel up on the objective. So he was on the objective during my command phase. And then we were able to sticky that objective in my command phase because I put the Duty and Honor order on him. And then we control that objective, move the tank up here, Rogaldorn's up here. Just kind of pushed everything forward. I just don't want my Rough Riders and my Bulgrin to get shot, or my Ogren to get shot too much by a Forge Fiend. The tanks I'm not that worried about because the Forge Fiends are strength 10, their toughness 11 or 12. So that's all. And then the Chimera here, drew a line down on the spawn. Heavy bolters popped off pretty well, killed one of the spawn and got another one down to 3 wounds. So killed a model. Neat. So Secure No Man's Land, we scored for the big 5. Assassination, we're going to pitch for a command point. On to DJ's turn.
So for the World Eaters, we're looking at Area Denial as well as Bring It Down. So popping a vehicle. What we did, spent a command point at the end of Lane's turn to pick up Scarbrand. That's how he's all the way over here. We also picked up the Fleshhounds in case we got something with them. We didn't get anything that they needed to score, so just got to put them back down in here in position to kind of deal with some of the bullet grins and everything else next turn. For our blessings, we chose Sustained and Lethal. So the spawn have Sustained and Lethal. Depending on what I want to do, I could charge into the Ogren. Sorry, not Bullygrin. I could charge into the Ogren and do some damage to them and try and hurt them. Or I could try and get some damage on this Rogaldorn, because that thing is going to be a nightmare to deal with later into the game. So it might be best just to try to get some damage on it early. Need to think about that, which way I want to go. But either way, the spawn are in position to charge and hopefully beat some stuff up. We're going to leave Area Denial alone. Can you tell why? There's a lot of tanks pointing at center saying, if you really want to, you can do this. Now, we did make an attempt at it. That little spawn that was left alive with 3 wounds, he came running over there and met the barrel of a Rogaldorn Overwatch, and he is no longer a part of this world. Could have spent a command point and brought some bloodletters in over here to mess things up, but then those bloodletters would just get vaporized next turn. And let's not play our entire hand that early is kind of what I'm thinking. Now, speaking of playing the hand early, yes, bringing Scarbrand down here is a risk. We did save our command point to try to stick a reroll to get into the Chimera. If we do, that's going to be great, because that's going to put the Scarbrand behind the wall, and he should be able to pick up the Chimera. Angron's kind of hiding pretty well behind this wall, using the terrain to his advantage, just to sit on that objective. And then we did move out the Hellbrute. It is able to get line on these Guardsmen. While we don't get any of the special reroll abilities into them, we will get Triple Blast.
Yep, because there's a 5-man Acadian command squad attached there, so it's 15 guys right now.
So that'll be nice. So let's do some shooting, do some fighting, and see how this all works out. All right, not a very good turn to start off with. We'll see how it goes. So Scarbrand did fail the 9-inch charge. We did reroll, and we failed it. I mean, you can't rely on 9-inch charges. Not too upset there. He's still tough, so that's kind of why I wasn't too worried putting him in that position. So he's still a tough big boy. And there's no real commanders around here to issue orders, so at least we got that going on for us. So, and he's all the way in the side. So we'll see how that goes into Lane's turn. What we're really disappointed about is over here. So I went after the Bullygrin, or the Ogren, and we charged. They failed, because I tried to separate, I tried to go over these guys, and they rolled a 3. needed like a 5. That's sad. Then over here, we got 11 attacks with sustained and lethal.
Then roll any 6s.
0 6s. So that's ugly.
He killed 1.
I killed 1 in total and lost 1 in return with a dude taking a wound. So nothing on secondaries for this first turn. I will pitch area denial, but I'll keep bringing it down because, well, there is quite a few vehicles, and at some point I'm going to have to do damage to them. So, all right, over to Lane in the guard.
4, turn 2. I pulled no prisoners and engage in all ye fronts. No prisoners means kill things. I think we're going to do some of that. Basically, the Scarbrand stuck here. We're going to go for him. So Chimera moved forward. Castrican popped out. These Castrican came in from reserve. Plus, we've got Lehman Russ Demolishers.
A line of tanks.
And the Rogaldorn with its longer range guns can all shoot down here. So we're going to see how much work we can do into Scarbrand. And we do have some units that can shoot at Angron here. So we'll see. If we get lucky, we might pick up Angron right away.
You mean Scarbrand?
Scarbrand, yeah, I forgot.
I was going to say Angron. I do not think you have quite enough for Angron.
These Ogren fell back so that these Rough Riders could charge in and finish him. These Ogren are going to shoot and pile in some shooting into these guys, charge if they need to. And then Rogaldorn move forward so I can start shooting at some dogs if we'd like to. That's about it from my movement.
And then I brought a Bloodthirster Red, which actually I have option. I can go after either Rogaldorn after this. So he's in a pretty good position to be able to jump out there and do some work next turn.
Yeah. So that's it. I'll do a little shooting, see if anything happens. Forgot to mention earlier that I did move my Scout Sentinel and advance them on to DJ's home field objective, but he did get overwatched by the Forge Friend, and the Overwatch did pick him up.
And
so
Lane called him a coward. It was tactical.
Everybody else in my army was cowards, though, because I fired the Rogaldorn, the Lehman Russ, the Castrican, and the Castrican, all in the Scarbrand, and did almost negative damage. I almost gave him wounds back. He's only taken 8 damage. That includes the Meltamine here, exploding on him. So nothing worked. This is my frustration with playing guard sometimes, is that sometimes just nothing works. To be fair, I rolled 1 on both the number of shots from both my Demolisher cannons. That's a bummer.
And I made quite a bit of involves.
And DJ made most of his
This makes up for my first turn of Lane doing that to me. So
no, it doesn't.
It totally does.
Those were friggin' Spawn over there. This is your big boy.
They were Spawn with dreams and ambitions.
I shot 6 units into them. So yeah, nothing happened there. But we did. The Ogren shot away the Spawn here. The Rough Riders charged in and finished that last Spawn there. The Rogaldorn picked up a squad of dogs. So we did damage from the little units, whittling away at his scoring units. That's it. So we did get no prisoners because we killed 3 units. We got the 5. And engage on all fronts. I'm engaging over there. So I'll get 2 points because I'm in 3 table quarters. On to DJ.
All right, so we're adapting a Lane strategy. Kill now, score points later. Because we got recover assets and cleanse. Actions. And I don't really want to do actions right now because I want to kill. So, I moved everything before moving Scarbrand to make a decision on that to see if I could bait out Lane's Overwatch. I did. I lost my doggies. He Overwatched with
Ogren.
Yeah, and my doggies went bye-bye.
They get a lot of shots. I rolled maybe a little bit above average on 6s. We picked them up.
So, but that actually might work out because I spent a command point to bring in the Bloodletters here, so they'll be able to charge. It'll be a 5-inch charge into these guys because of my Instrument of Chaos. So that'll be good. That'll be interesting to see how they play out with that over there. In other news, we did move the Bloodthirster up here. He's going to charge this tank. We moved the Angron over here. He's going to charge this tank. Our Forge Fiend, this one moved back up. He's got 18-inch range for full rerolls and closest eligible target, so he's going to shoot at that tank too to just kind of do some damage to it. If he gets lucky enough to pop it, then Angron could try and charge the tank in the back. And then over here, we have this Forge Friend. He moved up, and he's going to make these guards, which they got back, that they didn't get out of the Chimera. And then Scarbrand decided to just stay put. There's really nothing else for him to do. He's got 12 wounds. Cool. He's at a good point. So he's going to scream at these guys and then probably charge whatever remains over here. So first things first, we actually do have a shooting phase to do. All right, so we shot the shots. Forge Friend picked up all but the character and one dude over here. Scarbrand charged in, took them out, and I rolled a lot of twos. So this turned back around for laying this round with some stuff. So we rolled a whole bunch of twos, and guess what? That Chimera is still alive, sadly.
That is not the worst interaction, though, you had in the fight
We're
phase.
getting there. So then over here, we shot with the Forge Friend. He shot all the way over here, and he did a little bit of damage. And then Angron came in there, and I mean, it was just at one point, Lane's like, I'm not even going to, don't even bother rolling the damage. I think I had like 2 devastating wounds, 6 saves on him. It was bad. So Angron picked him up. Then the Bloodthirster. He hit good, and then he only wounded one time that Lane rolled a 6 and made the save. The Bloodthirster rolled 2s all the way down the chart, and it was just terrible. Now, his little mortal wound ability did kick through for 5 mortal wounds on this dude, so at least that's good. We got that damage started on him, but sad face. And then over here, the Bloodletters charged in. They were heroically intervened by these boys. They picked up the doggos, which was their target, and then they went by
The horses.
the horses, only scratching the Ogren. So we got 4 blood tithe points out of the turn. I think I'm just going to hold on to that in the command phase and try and go into blessings for my big boys. And then other than that, we scored nothing on secondary. Secondary's been really bad, so this is kind of rough. And yeah, we'll send it over to Lane and the guard.
For turn 3, I pulled extend battle lines and defend stronghold. Extend, defend. Let's go. These guys stepped forward before the Chimera fell back. Chimera did pass his battle shock. He fell back. Chimera got overwatched by the Forge Fiend, but only took 1. So he's down to 1 wound.
Once again, rolled the hits and a bunch of 2s.
So these guys are going to do a little work here. Who knows? Maybe one of the autocannon shots will get through. We got to do some damage to him at some point. The horses came out here. Going to charge either here in Angron or here in the Bloodthirster, depending on where we need to go. This Lehman Russ can shoot. This Rogaldorn fell back just so that this Rogaldorn could get some shots with his blast weapons. So Ogren stepped forward. They're going to put a bunch of shooting into him. Maybe we'll do some damage. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do some shooting. So shooting, we did throw our Melta Mine from this squad. Did like 1 mortal wound. Shot a little bit. Didn't do a whole lot. But Bragg's autocannon here got 2 through, and they are 3 damage. So we've got Scarbrand down to 2 wounds. Getting there. Over here, this guy fell back, so he couldn't shoot. This guy was too far away from him to get orders. So he shot, did a little bit of work, but this guy got 3 of his Demolisher cannon shots through, did 7 damage, got him down to 4 wounds here. So hopefully we're going to charge in with the Rough Riders and hopefully finish them off. So we'll see what happens there. That's it for the shooting. Let's charge a little bit. So pretty disappointing combat. DJ and I both have a lot of things going on in this game where stuff just doesn't work. So Rough Riders charged in here. One guy in the back didn't get a chance to fight because I only rolled a 3 on my roll for my charge. But 4 guys attacked, 4 hits, only got 1 wound. He made the invuln save, of course. I did charge in the 6-man of Ogren, and they chipped another couple wounds off of him. But in response, Bloodthirster just picked up all of the Ogren between his attacks. His attacks actually weren't that great, but then finished him off with 6 of his mortal wounds to finish off the last 2 Ogren in the squad there. And then he spent a CP to bring in the Bloodthirsters here.
Bloodletters, yeah, because I killed a unit.
Yeah. Yep, that is it. So we did get extend battle lines and defend stronghold is pending. On to DJ's turn.
All right, so for this turn, we got Display of Might and Defend Stronghold, and we're starting off real good with the Display of Might by removing our own models from the center. So I did what Lane couldn't. I killed the Bloodthirster. He failed his Battle Shock, so I still wanted to get him out of combat because leaving him there meant most likely, with the way things were going to go, I probably would lose him anyways. So I figured it's worth a shot, let's try it, and I rolled a 1. So the Bloodthirster died. And in a blaze of glory, he deadly demised.
He exploded.
And he took a ton of stuff out. I got to roll for that commissar.
Yeah, he picked up the commissar. He only had 3 wounds. Rolled
damage
4.
here. Took 5 of my bloodletters with him. Also took out did some damage to the tank. Did 5
damage to the Leman Russ. 5 mortal wounds to the Rough Riders.
Yeah, so that's
2
good.
of these guys died too.
Oh yeah, I lost 2 jackals. Yoink. Yeah, only 2 jackals though. And then we kept Scarbrand sitting still. I didn't want to get overwatched over here. Lane's got a command point. He's still floating on. And he's in range with his flamer, so he can shoot at these guys back here. Less shots here, so I'm not as worried about them overwatching me, but they're 2 wounds apiece, so that could get a little rough. And then we did move up the Forge Fiend, so, I mean, there's a couple things I'm thinking about. Like the Forge Fiend, even though it's not going to get the rerolls, he might need to do some work into some other things. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So we're getting ourselves in position, and then the Forge Fiend over here moved in position. He's just going to try and finish these guys off, and clear the path so everyone can charge onto the objective, and we'll go from there. So, all right, first things first, we got a little bit of shooting to do. So this has been a game of Warhammer that everything that you expect to happen during a game of Warhammer, nothing has happened, and everything that you expect that's supposed to randomly happen only once in a while is the reliable things to happen, like us killing more units in our opponent's phase, and everything explodes. So, and that's going to be the story of this phase. So, shooting-wise, the Forge Fiend over here did pick up the horsies easily, and then this Forge Fiend over here picked up a majority of that squad, leaving just one little bro left over there. Angron burnt, took a bunch of guys down there, and then we charged the Chimera, and guess what? It blew up. Did 1 mortal wound to Scarbrand, so he's now down to 1, and did 3 to my Forge Fiend, so he's down to 9. Then over here, Angron charged in, and I said, I probably shouldn't charge these jackals, because watch, this vehicle's going to explode, and bam, Angron blew it up, and hey, guess what happened? It exploded.
It exploded!
And did 3 damage to everything, including the Rogel Dorn, which is now down to 10, and everything over here, so those all got beat up as well. So, we did get Display of Might, and Defend a Stronghold is pending. We're in a pretty good position for that one, but we did display some might, so that's it. Over to the Guard.
All right, for top of turn 4, I have Overwhelming Force and Storm a Hostile Objective. So we're going to try and kill things that are on objectives. Like it's Scarbrand with his 1 wound left. We got a bunch of options over here. So I move forward with the Rogel Dorn. He was not in range to give orders, but now that we are in range, I can use the strat, snap to it, to give him an order now at the start of the shooting phase. So we'll be doing that. Ogre move forward, going to shoot some jackals and probably charge in and punch these guys. So, yeah, they don't get any orders now, but they still have a lot of attacks, so we should be all right there. Let's do a little shooting. So, this Rogel Dorn shot down here and picked up Scarbrand. Of course, Scarbrand exploded when he died. Deadly Demise, so finished off the last single caster in there and did 1 measly mortal wound to this guy here. We did shoot. I did spend the 1 CP to give this guy the order at the start of the shooting phase, and he was able to shoot and finish off Angron. Shot a bunch of shots from the Bulgrin. They're no longer under Ogren. They're no longer under orders, so they shot and killed the rest of the jackals, and they charged in and finished off the last 2 of the bloodletters there. So we did overwhelm force with 3 different units, and we did storm a hostile objective, so scored our secondaries there on the DJ's turn.
Not a whole lot for the World Eaters on this side of things, so we got engaged in overwhelming force. Failed to overwhelm a force because there really wasn't much for us to be able to do. Couldn't get over there. We just poured everything in this Rogel Dorn for aesthetic purposes, then charged it and tank shocked it. We got it down to 10, but that's about it. And of course, we had to take 2 damage in response. Then I hid this guy so he just doesn't get killed from the way it looks. Lane's not going to be able to get anybody within line of sight of him. And then this was more just a block because we did sticky this objective. So there's that for the turn for right now. And that's going to be it. So over to Lane and his crew.
Top of turn 5, I pulled area denial and bring it down. Now, first of all, DJ rolled his Blessings of Corn and was not blessed with Angron returning, so Angron will not return today. He'll have to come back another day. And very simple, just fell back with this Rogel Dorn, dropped in Gaunt's Ghost to burn this objective here, and then just shot. I spent the CP to give him lethals and shot everything into the the Forge Fiend there and got 3 Meltas through right away and picked him up. So that was the Bring It Down and the Area Denial. And we're burning over there. On to DJ.
Nothing I could really do to finish out my turn. Burnt an objective. No secondaries really I could score. Got a couple of points here and there, but that's it. Angron didn't return, so it's going to be a sad, sad day for the World Eaters. Final score, 63 for the World Eaters. The Guard come out with a 92. Definitely kind of matches considering the Rogaldorn. I think big thing that really was when that Bloodthirster failed to do damage to that Rogaldorn, that was the tipping point, because then that tank was able to fall back. And as we saw with its damage, well, actually didn't fully see. He was the one that kind of, when it came to him, was able to start really finishing stuff off. So the fact that the Bloodthirster was not able to really do enough damage to him to make it of value was kind of rough to finish everything off. And I definitely probably played a little too aggressive over here with those spawn too early, and just weird game. So follow us over to the post game. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.